All right, hello YouTube universe. Welcome back to another potential realized athletic enterprise video. My name is Coach Drew. I have another, let me just adjust this real quick. I have another 10 minutes or so. I really wanted to take a second to just say thank you all for your engagement and interaction with these videos that I've been doing over the last couple of days. This was something that I wasn't necessarily prepared to do. I just kind of decided to throw up a live video one day and see what would happen. And these have been getting a lot of engagement and really good response and feedback. So I have a lot of this this type of information, I guess, that I've kind of discovered, collected, learned, practiced over the years. So as long as my schedule continues to work out the way that it's working out, I'll keep throwing up these live videos here and there. So today's video is about success and failure and our approach when it comes to activities. Are you trying to succeed? Are you attempting to win? Or are you trying to not fail? Now, when you say these things, are you trying to win or are you trying to not fail? It kind of sound exactly the same when you just say it. The words sound very similar. And if you just hear it in passing, you go, yeah, those are, pretty much the same thing. So we want to take a closer look. Now, before I do these live videos, I kind of sit down and take some notes. So I'm going to continue to just look down and read from my notes. So when saying, are you trying to succeed or are you trying to not fail? With words, it sounds like exactly the same thing. However, when we take a closer look, we realize that these are two completely different approaches and philosophies. Now, when it comes to trying to not lose or trying to not fail, right? Basically, if I hand you a glass and you walk upstairs, this is don't drop the glass, don't drop the glass, don't drop the glass. If, like for my case, when I was in high school, I played basketball, I would get out onto the basketball court and I would be thinking, okay, just don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. Instead of really attempting to be successful, to do all I could do, I was just thinking of trying to not make a mistake. So trying to not fail is an attempt to avoid experiencing negative emotional content that we have previously experienced. So basically, we're trying to avoid experiencing the worst of our emotional range, which is embarrassment, humiliation, sadness, depression, anything that we might call a trigger. All of the negative situations that we experience in life leave an imprint on us in one way or another. And a lot of times what we're left with is the emotional residue of that situation. Now, I wrote here that if we lack the ability to dissect these events and focus on what we learned from the situation rather than what happened to us in the situation, then we'll be stuck in a cycle that revolves around attempting to avoid the emotions or the situations that caused us those emotions. So, one more time, guys, if we lack the ability to dissect the difficult events in our life, and if we lack the ability to focus on what we learned rather than what happened to us, then we're going to be stuck in this negative cycle of just trying to avoid re-experiencing that negative emotion or situation. Trying to not fail is using fear as a motivator. Fear or negative emotional content will only get you so far. It's only going to get you just in front of the thing that's chasing you. It's only going to do just enough to keep you safe. It's only going to do just enough to keep you secure. When you use fear as a motivator, trying to not fail, it's exhausting. And it causes us to be very narrow-minded in our approach to people, situations, and events. Using fear as a motivator will never truly allow you to realize your potential, because you will only work hard enough to avoid the situation or emotional content that you fear. So that's what it is when you step into a situation and you try to not fail. Whenever you pick up a new task, or it's game time, or you go to the gym, or you have a new task at work or a project, if your goal is not to fail, you have to ask yourself, what negative emotional content are you worried about experiencing? What situation or experience in your life gave you this emotional content? And how can we transmute that energy or take a different perspective on the situation that we feel caused us to feel this way? Now let's look at the opposite. Let's look at trying to succeed or trying to win. Now, trying to win is an attempt to create a positive or desired future emotional content that we may or may not have previously experienced. Now, let's look back at trying not to fail, which was an attempt to avoid experiencing negative emotional content that we have previously experienced. The biggest difference between that and trying to succeed is that we're trying to create a positive or desired future emotional content that we may not have previously experienced. To attempt in all earnestness and honesty, with full force and vigor, to create a desired emotional state or situation. This is the desire to succeed. This is trying to win or trying to be successful, rather than simply trying to avoid failure. Trying to succeed is backed or supported by love, passion, gratitude, and magnanimity. This is actually a word that I just learned today. Magnanimity, which is the quality or combination of qualities in character which enables one to encounter danger and trouble with tranquility and firmness, to disdain injustice, meanness, and revenge, and to act and sacrifice for noble objects. It's also the state of being very generous, either literally or in spirit. Trying to succeed rather than trying not to fail will truly allow you to realize your potential, because trying to succeed is done in the spirit of 100%, of full effort, of everything and then some, whatever it takes, and in the spirit of, I'm willing to die for this. When we approach our activities with this type of passion, if we do not lose or fail, if we lose or fail when we approach activities with this mindset, it is in earnest, and we are actually rewarded with accurate information on where to improve, what to add or remove, or how to better prepare or operate. Now, in the way that I see this playing out is a lot of people are scared of failing. Yet from my perspective, my experiences, every time I failed, I got better, regardless of where the failure happened. If it was in a relationship, if it was emotionally, if it was at a job interview, I have countless failures through the 10 years of me studying martial arts, through me trying and failing over and over and over again to be self-employed, through multiple positions that I've held. I've failed countless times, yet every single failure has brought with it information. And I feel that the reason I was able to extrapolate information from my failure is because I was more focused on what I was learning rather than what was happening to me or what I had to go through in order to get that information. I valued the information that I got from my failures, and that was very, very important to me. And the more that I took the approach of, oh wow, my failures actually helped me grow, where can I fail better? So I started looking at the areas of my life that I wasn't giving 100% in, and I realized I wasn't giving 100% because I wasn't approaching with the spirit of trying to succeed. I was approaching with the spirit of trying to not fail. And when I identified those areas, I tried harder and I still failed. But that's the point. Because I gave 100% effort, I was able to accurately identify the cause of failure, and I was able to better that area. Failure provides you with clarity. Failure provides you with a lot of stuff that you only get if you fail earnestly and honestly by giving 100%, truly and honestly attempting to succeed at the task. So it requires passion. The activity that you're engaging in requires passion because you have to have the spirit of approaching it with trying to succeed. This is very important, and this came to me while I was typing this out. I feel that this very, very clearly states the difference between trying to not fail and trying to succeed. Trying to not fail is operating from the perspective of my past self. Trying to succeed is operating from the perspective of my future self. If I can envision with my future self having had success, then I'll be able to act in a manner of achieving that success. If I engage in an activity with the thoughts of embarrassment and shame and failure that I've experienced because of what I've gone through in my past, then I'm bringing my past self to this endeavor or this activity. So the way that I see it in this fashion is trying not to fail is bringing your past self into the playing field. Trying to succeed is bringing your future self into the playing field. Once one has cultivated the true desire to be successful, instead of attempting to not fail, one becomes utterly and truly unstoppable. You will work as hard as you have to. You will struggle as much as is necessary, because once you make up your mind that there is no other option than your success and your personal potential, your entire life opens up in front of you. So the ultimate message here is when we engage in a new activity, we must ask ourselves, are we attempting to succeed, or are we trying to not fail? Thank you guys very much.